Okay, fine. So let's begin. Before that, I just would like to ask you some questions related to previous. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
what is the purpose of Docker file?
So Dockerfile, it is used to create a image um, using a set of commands that we mentioned in the file. It will execute those commands and create a image to run in a container.
Okay. So without Docker file, why we need to use Docker file? Without Docker file also we can create the containers, we can create the images. So why, what
Yeah.
is the main use of Docker file?
So if we there are other two types. Like if we use the Docker Hub, using Docker Hub, it will be default images. If we use file, then we can create and we can customize it on ourselves.
Excuse me, I got a call. 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dockerfile is to, like, we can customize our own content. I mean, images.
So we can do that from normally with single command also we can do that, right? So can't we do that in single command using single command?
Using single command.
By creating single command also we can create Docker images, right?
So there are three types. One is Docker Hub, and other one is commit, and
Docker
other one is Dockerfile.
Docker Hub is a
Yeah.
registry or central repository.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is different case. It is just like a kind of storage place. Okay,
Mm.
images storage place. Okay, that's fine. Docker images you can create using the commands. Okay, single line
Yeah.
commands. Using single line commands also you can create the images.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Now I got it. What is single? So using single commands, either we have to install already running images or already created images, but not we can't create new images using single commands. I mean, we can create, but we have to refer to the old images, then we can create it.
Okay,
Yeah, but if it is a Docker file, then we can customize it up to us, and we can directly run it in the container.
okay. So can we able to create only images, only image without any just we can pull the image from the Docker Hub, right?
Yeah.
So that means we are creating images. We are pulling
Mm.
image from the so and so place.
Yeah.
Correct. Also existed image also you can use the existed image, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We can use it.
Okay. Now you tell me. Yeah, that's fine. So now you tell me exactly what is a major uses of Docker file. So there are some instructions, right? There are a lot of instructions like from instruction, okay, and run instructions. And work directory instructions,
Yeah.
okay, and expose,
Yeah. Environment copy.
environment, copy,
Yeah. Yeah.
add.
Yeah.
Okay, so all these instructions you are using, and what is the purpose exactly? You said some customer, yeah, I can able to customize. If you want you can utilize, for example, from you are using Ubuntu image, which means you are pulling from somewhere, right? You are keeping here from means you are taking from the
Yeah.
repository, you are taking Ubuntu image, you are just placing, which means it is also pulling from the Docker image where you are customizing the image.
Okay. But
You are not creating image, you are just using the image which is already existed in the Docker Hub. So that you
okay.
are mentioning in the instruction, right?
Mm.
So then tell me exactly what is the main difference between single line commands using for creating the Docker, I mean Docker images or containers. So what is the major difference between normal method and Docker file? Just think and try to get the answer.
Like using Dockerfile, we create a environment in Docker.
Okay.
Like we have to run the image that we are taking to the taking through file, right? So
Hmm.
for that, creating environment in the container.
Okay. Okay. So these kind of questions you will get, they will confuse you. Simply nothing. So you will get answer, but you can't express. You know how to do it. You know how to, what will happen using Dockerfile also. You know that by single line command you can also create the images and you can utilize the image. On top of that, you can create the container that you know. But if
Yeah.
somebody asks using single line command and also this Docker file, what is a major difference? They'll try to confuse you.
Okay.
Okay. First thing, when you use single line command, these commands type manually. You need to type like this: docker create etc etc etc. Everything is, this is manual operation.
Yeah. Okay.
First point. Okay. Then what happens in Docker file? A Docker file is a text. We are keeping nothing, we are not writing any kind of scripts, just this is just like a text, but we are following some kind of instructions, correct?
Hmm.
Right, this is just like a text file that contains a set of instructions. These are instructions. Okay, set of instructions step by step on how to build the Docker image.
Okay.
Okay, so you are setting up everything ready in one text file. Clear? You
Okay.
need a you need a image so and so place. You are running it, you are keeping some what is that command. Okay, you where you want to install that this Docker file. Okay, where this to be executed, that place. And you are exposing something port, something like that. Okay, you are keeping environment file.
Environment.
Okay, you are keeping some kind of files. If you want to copy from EC2 instance, if you want to use for that, you can use copy. And if you have any kind of compress related files,
Yeah.
and you can expose. Okay, using add. So these are all kind of set of instructions. Whatever instructions are useful for your project, so you are going to write like this everything one by one, step by step process. Okay,
Okay.
and that after finishing it, after writing it, you are just building it, which means it comes under automation. Clear? Okay,
Hmm.
so the major difference between Docker single line command and Docker file is single line command runs or manages containers manually. Okay, no, this is not a kind of automation. It is hard to reuse, correct? It will take a time. Okay, so yeah, version control, no. There is little complexity in the sense it's a kind of manual process, not suitable for the multi-step builds. This is important. It is not suitable for multi-step builds. Okay, if you
Okay.
want, you can do multiple steps here. Okay, yeah, what I can say, multi-step builds. If you want to build multiple times, you can do it, right? So there are chances to modify it also. If you want, you can do modify. If you want to change the port, yes, I can change the port. Clear.
Okay.
But here the manual process, once after creating it, this that is very difficult to manage this. Okay.
Okay.
If you use Docker file, this is this is very major and important point is this is kind of automation. First point. And this is portability and means you can share the Docker file with your team or GitHub. So once after building it, once you get success, you can keep this, you can share with this Docker file to your colleagues, or if you want to keep it in for future purpose, you can keep in GitHub. Okay.
Okay.
So consistency, ensure same image build every time. One time if you build that, you can build multiples. You have seen that also. You can build multiple times, right?
Okay.
Efficiency saves the time. Your time will save definitely. Okay. And it will works well, right? You can also integrate with the CI/CD pipelines. Okay. So there are a lot of advantages there using Dockerfile. That is a major difference. You have to tell like this, not one word answer. One word answer never gives
Okay.
the result. Okay. So this is how. That is a major difference between single line command and Docker file. Clear?
Yeah.
Let's come to our topic today. Sorry, Docker volumes. So what is volume? So do you have any idea about volume? You already have a good knowledge in AWS. So you might have used EBS.
Yeah. So basically, volumes is to store different types of files in the system, which can be accessed by users.
Okay. What is the
Yeah.
purpose?
The purpose is to store system related files, any installation files,
Hmm.
and um, like
Okay.
we can uh, make them differentiate, and we can keep all the types of files in it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. Docker volume is a special storage mechanism that Docker uses to persist data. What is
Okay.
persistence?
Persistence.
Persistence means exist. Okay.
Okay.
So this persisted data. Even when containers are stopped, deleted, or something happened to your container. For example, without volumes, if I keep something on top of my container, okay, this is my container. Okay, I put
Yeah.
some files, softwares, etc., etc., etc. on top of my container. My EC2 machine got restarted. Okay, something happened to my host machine. Okay, or this container got affected, container got deleted. Container is ephemeral. What is the spelling for it? Ephemeral. I think this is the one. So this ephemeral point, this technical word is a very important in Kubernetes also. You will use this ephemeral. Pod is actually ephemeral. Container is also ephemeral. What is the meaning of ephemeral? Ephemeral is kind of um, there is a nature. So this ephemeral means temporary. Okay, there are chances to delete, there are chances to expire, there are chances to happen, anything happen, collapse your container. So in
Okay.
Kubernetes there are chances to kill or expire your pod. That is called as ephemeral. You understood?
Okay.
So this container has ephemeral nature. So we are not know that what happens to the containers. We never know that, right? So
Yeah.
that is the reason the content already there, my files are there, software related files are there. I put lot of things in this container, my application is running. Entire applications I deployed, I don't have any extra storage. So everything directly build. I just build everything. I set up everything, I build it on top of this container. My application is running on top of this. So suddenly what happened, this got crashed. So
Okay.
entire data will be erased. Okay, so that is the reason, if you have a volume, everything will be stored in volume. Then what happens, even if you create, if you delete the container, if it crashes also, your data will be persist in the volume.
Volume.
Clear? So this is general, in our general English I'm telling everything.
Okay.
Container or containers, pods in Kubernetes, pods are ephemeral. In Docker, containers are ephemeral. Okay,
Okay, got it. Like,
ephemeral in the sense temporary. We
mm,
doesn't know when the container will get deleted. We doesn't know when the pods will get deleted. So if you are important, if you have important data inside containers, for example, I have very important log data. I have done many things on top of this container. So since 1 month I'm maintaining logs. So I'm just observing everything on top of these logs related to my application. Okay. So all of a sudden something happened to my host machine. This container got deleted. So where I have to go? So whom I have to answer? Everybody point out you. Okay.
okay.
Logs might be there, database might be there, some uploads will be there, something will be there. See, we are dealing with the application in the sense, a lot of things will be there, right? So Docker volumes allow you to store the data on top of the host machine. Clear?
Yeah.
So whenever you create a volume, so you can able to connect with the host EC2. So which means, so on top of Docker volumes allow you to store the data on the host machine. Yeah, that's it. Nothing else. Okay. It will safely persist. Persist in the, what do you mean by persistent? Persistent means ex-
Existence.
existence. Persist means you are storing it, keeping it
Okay.
like this. So this is technical word. You have to use this word only. Don't use storing,
Yeah, yeah.
save like this. Okay. So
So these
earlier
volumes will be
while I was learning Docker volumes, I used to confuse with this names for ephemeral persistence. Nobody
okay.
was telling. They used to use like this, like persistence, ephemeral. What is a persistent data volume? What is ephemeral? So these things used to confuse me, but nobody was cleared. I cleared myself. Tell me,
Okay.
you are saying something.
Like these volumes are stored, I mean, installed in EC2 or on the top of the EC2 instances.
See, you can create on top of this Docker. You are creating volumes on top of Docker.
Okay.
Okay. If you
Okay.
create a volumes on top of Docker, this will be attached with to your container.
Okay.
This
Okay.
volume will be attached to your container. Whatever data will be stored into on top of this container, that will be belonging to volume. If
Okay.
anything
Now I got
happen
it.
also, it will be disconnect, nothing else.
Yeah.
Volume will be persistent. Definitely volume will be persistent. This volume you can use anywhere. Okay, you can create other container also, you can use this volume.
Got it.
Very much clear.
Yeah, it's like just like EC2. For suppose we
See,
can
this is
disconnect
like
the
a
volume and we
this
can
is like
connect to.
yeah. Go ahead, Raj. I think there is some delay, maybe overlapping. Can you please tell me?
Okay, we can disconnect to volume to one instance, and we can use this volume to another instance to sync the data.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, same like in Docker also we can do that.
Same like EBS,
Yeah,
nothing,
got
no
it, got it.
changes at all. So you are using this term EBS, you are using AWS. That is the reason there is a separate name called EBS. So we are using here related to Docker. That is the reason we are using volumes. The
Volumes, got
same
it, got it.
volumes we will use Kubernetes.
Okay, got it.
So that is the reason Kubernetes Docker is a prerequisite. Clear?
Okay, yeah,
Okay. Docker is very most important for the Kubernetes. That is why I'm covering actually. Kubernetes already covered everything. That is the reason Docker is not required. But Docker is actually prerequisite for the Kubernetes. If you could directly learn the Kubernetes, you never understand anything.
Okay.
Okay, without going first class, second class, third class. If you go 10th class, how you feel?
Hmm.
Hmm?
Lack of basics.
Definitely, Docker is a prerequisite for the Kubernetes. Earlier, without Docker, there is no Kubernetes. But there is actually revolution in the Kubernetes also. Earlier in 2021, while 21, 22 at the time while I'm using this Kubernetes, I could not able to create without Docker.
Okay.
Docker you must install on top of Kubernetes. Okay. Before you want to install anything Kubernetes, you must have Docker.
Got it.
Docker is a prerequisite. Without Docker, Kubernetes you could not able to configure. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me reiterate everything. Okay. So first, for example, I'll give you some one example. I have a container. Okay. This is other container. Okay. So two containers are there. I have one directory. Okay. This directory I want to share with this container. Okay. So I will create a container. After that, I want to share this directory to other container by using Docker volumes. You can do it by Docker volumes. Okay. You can share the data across containers. Okay. You did you remember hard link?
Yeah.
Where this word came?
Linux.
Yes. What is the purpose of this?
Like we can create another copy of file backup. Yeah.
We used to create a hard link for backup purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Same kind of that. Okay. So you create some volume and you are sharing with each other. You can
Okay.
do it by volumes also. Okay. So purpose of volume is a mechanism for storing the data outside the container of the file. Okay. Volume allow you to data persist. Okay. Ever
Yeah.
after the container is deleted, enabling data sharing between the containers and retaining important information like database files, logs, etc. etc.
Okay.
Okay, right?
Yeah.
Persistence means volume ensure that data is not lost. So when a container is stopped or removed, for example, okay, this is a crucial for the applications where data integrity and persistence are important. So you can store everything on top of volume. So even if it is deleted also, even if it is crashed or even if it is killed or anything, if you killed a container, if you delete it mistakenly, something happened, or maybe you did mistake, maybe suddenly all of a sudden you deleted the container, all of a sudden you mistake, for example, if you have to delete one container actually intentionally. That container name is one. Actually there are a lot of data in container 2 which is actually in live. All of a sudden you
Okay.
mistakenly deleted this container.
Okay.
No problem at all. So maybe that moment your application get affected, but you can retrieve the data. So you can create other container, you can attach with that container to your volume.
Volume.
So
So it will act like
everything will
container
be
two only.
retrieved. You can retrieve the data from the that volume. Okay. You
Yeah.
can sharing the data also. Volume can be shared among the multiple containers. This is what you can share the volumes in between multi. For example, this is a directory. This directory you can share here and from here to here. So this is a container. This is container 2 and this is container 3, container 4. So you can share one file among the different all kind of containers. Am I clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Facilitating the data exchange and the coordination between the services. Okay, backup also. What is the purpose of this volume means? Definitely backup comes under picture.
Okay.
Okay. So it will act as a backup and restore. Okay, volumes can be easily backup and restored, and you can providing a way to maintain the data consistency and
Okay.
continuity. Okay,
Yeah.
so decoupling purpose also. Decoupling the data from the containers. For example, this is a data. Okay, I don't want to keep this data in our container. I want to move this data. Definitely, you can decouple it by using volumes.
Okay.
By,
Yeah. Yeah.
by using volumes, data is managed separately from the container lifecycle. Okay, and performance. So if you do like this, volumes can be optimized for performance, allowing you better input, output, operations compared to using container file system. Okay, so you can consider these as important points. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. So what is the major difference between, actually I would like to compare with the AWS volume. Why? Because you have already worked on the AWS,
Yeah.
right? So container environment is there. There in AWS volume you can use I think I think EBS. Yes, there are things. Okay, that's kind of, you can take it that example. Okay. Okay. What else to cover? That's it, right? You understood, right? Clearly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me take one more example. Just give me 1 second.
So let me explain. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
so Docker volumes are like storaging of existence data,
Hmm.
and it is created on top of the Docker, and
Docker
whenever the
container.
content,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead. Sorry.
whenever we create a container, we can attach this volumes to the container where we can capture whole image backup, I mean container backup into these volumes, and we can keep them as a backup. If there is any wrong with the containers, we can use this volumes as a backup, and we can create a same same environment with another container.
Yes. Yeah, you can do.
Yeah.
That's how. Docker is a value mechanism for storing the data outside the container. Okay, you are storing the data outside the container. But if you keep, for example, without Docker, so you need to observe here, without Docker volume, you are going to store everything inside the container. If you go and log your container ID, so everything will, you can see in this logs. But
Yeah.
so
Got it.
but volumes you will create outside of the container. Okay,
Hmm.
this whatever the things happen, for example logs might be, you can inspect also logs also, or data files, software related, everything will be stored in the volume. If anything happens to this container or it crashes, so this volume with that is called as actual persistence volume, this volume will be existed as usual.
Yeah. Got
So
it.
that is a big advantage from the Docker volume.
Docker volumes.
Okay, that's what
Yeah.
he is saying. In Docker volume, in a Docker, a volume is a mechanism for storing the data outside the container file system. Volumes allow data to persist even after the container is deleted. Clear? That is
Yeah.
what meaning of persistent. Okay, enabling data sharing between the containers to containers across the different containers, and retain in the sense you can take it back, right? Retaining important information like database files, logs, etc., etc., like this. That is the purpose of it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. This I think I did some. I think old one. I think so. Okay.
I have a doubt. Like
Yeah. Go ahead.
when we install any software in the container, uh,
What? What? Can you repeat?
like if we install any softwares in the container, like For suppose we install
No, no,
Java
no, no, nothing, nothing. Only one command is there. Just using command only we can create the volumes.
Okay.
Okay. So there is no any extra softwares for this.
Okay, not like that. For suppose if we are in uh,
Tell me. Go ahead.
we are running one image in the container,
Hmm.
right? So those image files all are stored in volumes
Image related.
files.
No, why image came into the picture here? Image is for only for base image, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Image you are taking from the Docker Hub. Maybe there is a way. Maybe you one case is from Docker Hub.
yeah. That's what image files, not image files. Any application files. For suppose we are installing Java application in it.
Okay,
So
Java application you should not run on the image. You should run on the
yeah, we
container.
should
You
container.
can't do it first.
Okay, yeah,
Image is just like a base machine. That's it.
okay,
Base image is just it is giving you operating system kernel. That's it. You can't do
yeah, yeah.
anything on top of image.
Hmm.
You can do everything on top of this container. Container is the main matters here.
Yeah,
If you want to
like
keep any application inside this, you can keep it. If you want to
yeah.
install the Java application, you can keep it on container only.
So those system files all will be stored in volumes,
Yeah,
right?
you can.
Yeah,
If you are attached with the volume, then definitely it will.
yeah. If we move this volume to the other container, the Java application will be also there.
Yes, yes, you
Yeah,
can do.
that
There is
yeah, I
a
got it.
possibilities. There are a lot of possibilities are there. If you
Okay,
if you
got it.
are attached with the volume, definitely you can share with that volume to with the different across the different container also. You can share with
Got it.
your friends also. You can share with your Docker hub also. Sorry,
Got it.
GitHub also. If you want to keep in, yes. So you
Got it.
created some application on top of this. Maybe some application related everything you stored in the volume. Okay. So then if you want to share with this other container, yes, you can create it. Okay. You can do
Hmm.
it. Okay.
Got it.
This is a big advantage because if something happens to this, everything will be crashed, collapse. Everything will be collapsed. But if you have a volume that it's a kind of reservoir, it will store everything there. It will be persistent. That is called as data persistence.
Got it. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Let us take one example. So we are going to do practical.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So for example, I am going to take Docker volume. Sorry, Docker file. Okay. Here I am going to use one instruction called from. So which image I am going to take? Usually I'll take Ubuntu. Let's take Ubuntu. Okay. And we
Okay.
will create one instruction called volume. This is also one kind of instruction we did not discuss earlier
Okay.
regarding this. Okay. Volume is a kind of instruction where we can keep our data inside. We are going to keep some data inside this. Okay.
Hmm.
Right. So we by using this I am going to create one image. Clear?
Hmm.
What image? Ubuntu image 100%, right? So image in the sense in Docker file itself I mentioned, right, Ubuntu. So by if
Yeah.
you run this, if you build this Docker file, so you will get one image called Ubuntu. Along with it, you will get along with in the sense you never get anything on top of this image, but image will get created once after creating on top of this. If you create any container, okay,
Hmm.
once after creating container, whatever the data file will be there, that data file you can able to see here. Clear?
Okay.
So as a volume here, as a volume, understood? On top of root directory, we are going to get along with it data directory as a volume.
Got it.
Clear? So this
Yeah.
this 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 exercise we will do that. Let me go to here. Okay, this is my mission. Uh, what I will do is, oops. Okay, okay, fine. So, uh, so let me check what are the files are there. Yeah, this is you see the files, different files. I don't have any data in this currently. Okay, okay. Now, what is the command? So first of all, I'll do one thing. Already Docker file is there. I'll use this Docker file only. Okay, I'll change it.
Okay.
Okay, because Docker file is actually default, right? So let me remove this. Insert. Okay, image. What is this? Base image. Base image is
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu. Okay, and what is the next instruction?
Volume.
Volume. Okay, so in this, I'm going to keep. 1 second. This all setup. I'm just removing it. Okay, in this, I'm going to keep a data, one directory in top level root directory. What is the meaning of this? So this is
Top
a
level.
top level root directory.
Okay.
This is a path of top level root directory. There is a data volume will be created.
Okay.
Okay. So let me show you that also. So just I'm taking this much only. WQ. Oh, sorry. Okay. See here, top level root directory. LS CD. Okay. LS. You see this?
Mm.
There are files, bin directory, something, this is system related, dev, home, libbo, etc, etc is there. So along with it, I'm going to create one directory called data. Is there any data directory right now? No, right?
No.
So once you build this, you will get data directory from there. Okay,
Okay.
so let me cd. Okay, so now I'm going to create docker. So what is the command? Could you please tell me? Don't forget.
Docker build hyphen t.
Docker.
Build hyphen t.
What is the meaning of T?
Tag. Uh, I mean file name.
Okay, so I'm going to use Docker file name, not file name.
Image name.
So this is actually a tag. This tag is
Okay.
for next upcoming. We are going to create one kind of image, right? So
Mm.
what image we have to keep? The Docker image or volume image. Docker, sorry, Docker volume image. I'm keeping like this. Okay, this is my image name.
Okay.
So and I'm trying to run the current directory here. Dot enter. See here, building.
It's
It's
great.
building.
Yeah.
Like I said, deprecated. This is okay. Warning. Okay, it's got created, right? Successfully build one image. This is one image.
Okay.
Successfully build. This is image ID and successfully tag Docker volume to that image ID. Okay,
Okay.
let me go Docker. Sorry, images.
Docker spelling group.
Okay, let me take small little. See this Docker images. What is our image right now we created?
Docker volume image.
So this is the one, right?
Yeah.
So by using this image, we are going to create a container. Clear?
Yeah.
So can you please navigate to me? Can you please walk me through that command? How to create a
Like
container using this image?
yeah, like Docker.
Mm-hmm.
Docker run
Mm-hmm.
hyphen it hyphen name.
Hmm.
Image name.
No, container
A
name.
container.
This is for container. We are
Yeah,
creating
container name.
container name is actually my container. My container one. I'm keeping like this. Or
Okay. Now image.
any different name for. I'll keep like this V1. Okay,
Hmm.
volume one content, something like this. Meaningful
Okay.
name. And what is my this one
Yeah, Docker
image?
hyphen volume bin
Bin
dash
dash. Bin dash. Okay. You see this? So where are you currently?
in the container.
In the container.
Yeah,
Correct. Let's see. ls. What is this?
data.
You got it right.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is normal directory. This is not normal directory. Hmm?
Hmm.
This is not normal directory. These are all
It's a
normal directories only.
yeah
But this is a volume now.
volume. Yeah, yeah.
This is a volume now. Okay, you can write the question here. You can try to understand how can I able to identify the volumes from the other files.
Other directories. Yeah.
Keep in mind. I will answer later. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, let me go inside CD data. Oh, sorry, why it is not CD data less. Okay, nothing is there. I'm just inside the data, which means I'm
Okay.
inside that volume.
Hmm.
Actually, without using this data, I should have used a volume name. That's okay, fine. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, Let me do one thing. I can create something cat. This is I'm going to keep a name called my volume file. So this is what I'm going to keep it. Okay, that's it. Enter. So this is my volume file something. Okay, that's enough. Okay, enter. Exit. You can exit. Okay. So now what we have done, everything clear.
Yeah.
So what we have done is always I'm clearing. That's why everything I'm writing first from the first. Bah, I should not have deleted. Okay, that's fine. So this is actually Docker file which we created.
Hmm.
Docker file. Inside Docker file we have used instruction called from Ubuntu. Okay, and
Volume
volume. This is the instruction. In volume
hmm.
we have written something data.
Data
That data is actually one directory,
root directory.
right? From this Ubuntu we created image.
Hmm.
So that image called is what is the image name? Something.
Docker volume image.
Yeah. Docker volume image. This is my image name.
Hmm.
On top
Using
of this image, we have created one container.
container.
What is the container name? My
Mike
container.
cont1 hyphen vol1.
Maybe it's such kind of. Okay.
Hmm.
So we have seen whenever we created a container, the same data we have seen. Clear?
Hmm.
Is it fine or not? On top of this top level root directory, inside the container, you have seen data. Okay, this is data.
Okay.
Inside data, we have created called file. What is a file? Some file we created. Volume file, something. One file we created. Clear?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
now, till then we have done. So now I want to share this data to other container. Okay. I have other container. Okay. So and so image is there. Maybe Ubuntu. This container is my container one volume two something. Maybe my container volume two. So I want to share this volume to other container. The volume name should be data. Okay. as a volume. Clear? This is a volume. Okay, this is a volume. Clear? So any doubt
Yeah.
you can ask me.
No, fine. I understood.
Any doubt, no problem. Okay. So now
Okay.
we are going to create this one. This part has been done already.
Yeah.
So we are doing this now. So
Okay.
how? Using SL single line command. Okay. We need to create image, along with we need to create container, along with it we have to attach. Clear? So
Mm.
this command will be very much bigger. For your better understanding, writing. I'm just writing Docker. Is it visible?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll write here better. Okay, I'll write here Docker. Okay. First, what I have to do? I'll create container. Run. You run hyphen it hyphen name. What is container name? My container volume 2. This is my container name. Okay.
Mm.
So here you need to think of. You need to keep in mind. This is new one. Okay. Just keep in mind hyphen privileged privileged equal to true. Okay. Hyphen volumes hyphen from. I will explain. Container. What is this? My container from my container one volume one. Okay.
Mm.
So what is the image? Ubuntu. Okay.
Okay.
Ubuntu. I'm just taking as a Ubuntu as an image. Okay.
Mm.
I'm not using this image. Okay. Already existed. I don't want to create any extra container in this. If you create that one image, it will share. You may get doubt. On top of same image, it will show definitely because it is sharing the image, right? I'm going to take different image. Clear? Bin bash. Okay. So here you try to understand. Docker run hyphen it name. Okay. My container volume 2. This is a container. Till here you know already, right?
Yeah.
You must need to keep privileged true. Privileged means you are giving permissions.
Okay.
Okay. And volume from which volume from you are taking from this volume, right? This connection
Okay.
from this volume. That is the volumes from means from this volume we are creating container one. Okay.
Okay.
From this one, my container one, we are creating actually this one. Okay. So which means so I'm not creating first image. On top of that, I'm not creating it separately. Okay, we are doing all together using this reference. Clear? So that is the
Okay.
reason volumes from this container. Same like copy container will create this copy this date volume will be copied and also it will create with the different Ubuntu image. You understood?
Yeah.
So let us try this. Oh sorry, I will hide it. So let me go see here. Okay, so yeah, let me come outside. Oh shit, again exiting exist. Okay, that's fine. So hyphen ls. Yeah, that's fine. I'm in root. Okay, I have to create here itself. So I think Docker images. Yes, Docker container ls hyphen a. Sorry, wrong. This is
Container. You typed LA.
so this is the one, right?
Mm.
This is the container. You see my
Yeah.
container volume one. My container volume one. This is the container name.
Mm.
Okay. So all right. Let me do one thing. So let me write. Now we'll create a container. Can you please navigate? Walk me through. Docker run
Run
hyphen it
hyphen IT. hyphen hyphen name.
name. So what name I have given?
Uh,
So what is the name?
my container to volume 2
My
v2.
container, my container volume 2, like this.
2.
I keep like
Mm,
this. Okay.
mm,
This is my new container.
mm,
Okay. So this
mm.
you need to keep. This is hyphen hyphen privileged. Privileged. Privileged equal to true. True.
Okay.
Okay. Hyphen hyphen volume. Okay. Hyphen volumes from. Okay. From where? What is container? My container.
One cont1.
My container. 1 second. Where is the container name?
The down it is my
This
cont v
this is one, right?
hyphen v1. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My container. Okay. I will also keep the same name like this. Oh, my container. My con.
Cont hyphen v1 v2 here.
This is also I'll keep similar.
Mm.
My current hyphen v1. This is I'll keep v2.
v2 v2
v2, right?
mm.
So next my current container
hyphen v1.
v1. So this is my existed container.
Okay.
So this I'm going to use Ubuntu image. Ubuntu. Okay.
Mm.
Bin bash. Is anything difficult?
No.
You can able to remember this, right?
Yeah.
So that's fine. So let me cross check. Maybe if anything mistakes that will identify. Um, I'll keep. Your command is almost correct. Where I did mistake? Almost means it is not correct. Docker on hyphen container v2 privileged true hyphen volumes. Okay, that's okay. Same, right? So let me check where I did mistake. privill equal to true hyphen volumes from my container volume 1 bin bash. Looks same, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. So where are you now?
The container.
You are in container 2,
Yeah.
right? So let me check. ls, what is this?
Data.
Data.
The
cd,
volume.
cd, data. Okay, ls, you see this? Did I
Mm.
create this? Did I create now manually?
No.
Cat, see this? This is my volume file. Clear?
Yeah.
So which means you successfully shared the file from my container 1.
Mm.
So there is a possibility to share the files, or, sorry, share the volumes across the containers. Clear?
Yeah.
Yes, this is one way. Okay. And what else to do? So what is the time now? 7:33, right?
Mm.
Shall we close?
No. If you're okay, we can continue.
Okay. So now, mm, okay, let me create here some file. Okay. Touch Rakesh. So in see here in this you see this in container 2. Okay. In container 2, I am creating a file called Rakesh. Clear?
Yeah.
You understood? So that I'll create here touch Rakesh. Enter ls. There is a file called Rakesh.
Hmm.
Okay. So and um, let me go to the. I'll exit from here. Exit Docker Docker. See, sorry. Docker container ls hyphen a. So these are my containers, right? So now I just want to start Docker start. Okay.
My container v1.
I need to go inside.
Yeah, you want to check the file in my container v1, right?
Yes. Docker start. Yes, start. Let me start. Okay, Docker
Docker attach
attach
my country v1.
attach. Okay, ls. You see,
Yeah, it
Docker
got.
file, which means there are there is a possibility to sharing the files across the containers.
Hmm.
You understood?
Yeah.
So that's how. Okay,
Now
that's how we share the
how we
data from the
can
containers to
detach
container. Huh?
detaching of volume from the container?
Why you want to detach?
Like now we don't want to use that volume in other container.
If you
So how
don't
can we
use that,
detach?
uh-huh. If you want to detach, you can detach.
Yeah.
Let's do that later. Okay,
Okay.
my flow is missing. Okay, so this is fine. Next to what to do? We can
Okay.
detach it, but we'll do it later because if we detach it now, so
Okay.
again,
Now let's focus on attaching
yeah,
and doing all the things.
Docker. Just hyphen D you need to mention, I think so.
Hmm.
Docker detach. You see, Docker Ubuntu. Yeah, this is a command. Okay.
Okay.
So this is a command. That's it. Just simple. We are actually attaching there. Just you detach it. That's it. Okay. Docker and hyphen it hyphen name container and yeah. You are no. This is not the way. This is not the way. Docker and detached means this is detaching mode. It is creating a container.
Hmm.
This is wrong command. Okay. You are creating a container in detached mode. You understood?
Okay. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
means this is not related to volume.
Okay.
Detached mode in the sense automatically without if you exit from the container, if you exit from the image, if you exit from the your host machine also the container will run automatically. Continuously it
Mm.
will. That is the meaning of detaching. Not here.
Got it.
So first you need to stop the container and you need to remove the container. Okay.
Okay.
So then you need to create new container. We'll see this later.
Okay.
See this. This is a main point. Actually I did not see this topic actually. Earlier also I did not detach any containers in my uh, in our company also, so that's the reason I'm just so here Docker does not allow detaching volumes
Okay.
from a container after creation. If you want to delete it you can delete it. Okay, you need to remove the container just to create new one and without the volume, that's it.
Got it.
Here just if you don't want you don't use in volume, that's it. Okay, example I'll tell you. So here your question, I'm just giving your answer. So here actually there is actually connection established. You want to detach this, right?
Mm.
So this is your question, right? If
Yeah.
you want to detach this, there is no command, there is no concept like this. But if
Okay.
you don't want to use this, if you don't want to use this, on top of this image, just create another container. Okay,
Mm.
just create another container without volume. That's it. Don't use
Okay.
volume. Don't use this volume as this. So then it automatically you can use detached only, right? This detachment will be with this container only. Okay, this container only you can create with a new container, then it is fine. And also if you don't want to use this volume, then automatically it will keep aside. That's it.
Mm.
Okay, on top of, without using this directory, you can create other directories and you can use it. That's it. What, no drawback is there if you connect with the container to connect container. Okay,
Okay.
right? If you don't want to, if you want to delete the files, you can delete the files and keep the volume like this.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, that's fine. So next, what we are discussing? Yeah, so this thing happened. What is this? Container to container.
Mm.
Oh, wait. So what we have done, this is called container to container.
Mm.
Okay, so this volume sharing, container to container volume sharing. Okay, so we have a concepts like container to container. Okay, this we already done. Okay, next to host to container. What is meaning of it? Tell me.
Mm. Host to container.
Hmm. You asked me earlier.
Yeah, like on top of the host machine, like on Ubuntu.
Exactly. So my
Okay.
my in my case, what is host? In my case, what is the host?
Here Linux.
My in my case, Ubuntu is host actually. EC2 machine.
Okay.
Whatever
Oh,
EC2 machine is there, this EC2 machine is the host
host.
machine for me.
Mm.
So I'm going to create a file here, or existed files are there. Some files. Clear.
Mm.
These files I want to share with container. Am I clear?
Yeah.
So that is called host to, which means host means EC2 to container. Container is
Okay.
somewhere on Docker, but machine is separate. Clear.
Okay.
So let me close this. I'm just wiping it out everything. So this is my, okay, this is not looks good. I'll take yellow. This is my EC2 instance. Okay. So on top of this EC2 machine, I think there is a root. Okay. On top level root directory. On top of this, so there is a root, right? This is root means this is the one. Okay, here some files are there. File 1, file 2, file 3, file, so like AWS Lokesh object text something, some files are there right inside root. Correct.
Mm.
Okay, along with this I'll also create a file, different file called um file name what, Vasant. I'll keep like this name. Okay, so I'll create some new file, extra new file Vasant. Okay, so I want to make this as root volume,
Okay.
as a volume. Okay. So from here, on top of this already one image got, image will be there. Some already Ubuntu image is existed, right? I have lot of images. I'm using Ubuntu image. Clear?
Mm.
So on top of this Ubuntu image, I'm going to create a container.
Okay.
Okay, that container called any different container name, please. Rakesh container. Already
Hmm.
there, right? Like Rakesh container. Okay, I'll keep what is this container earlier one?
Um, my container volume 2.
Okay, my container, I'll keep like this. Volume
Hmm.
3.
3.
I'll keep like this. This is my container name,
Hmm.
not volume.
Okay.
So maybe in future, if you see this video, don't confuse. That's why I'm not
Hmm.
using volume anywhere for the container names.
Okay.
Okay. So now from here, so in this also, if I create on this whatever the files are there, okay, these files, okay, this file should be there on top of this container, okay, which means in my case Vasant is there. That Vasant file will be, you should get this Vasant file, okay.
Hmm.
So this is how we can set up,
Okay.
right? So let us do like this. From this is called as, this is host mission,
Hmm.
this is container,
Hmm.
okay. We are sharing the files in between host to container,
Hmm.
clear? So this is what we are going to do now, right? So what is command? Same command, docker run. I'm just using it already, I have there, but I don't want to use this to understand. Docker run hyphen it hyphen name. What is the container name? My container v3 something. This is my container name, okay. So
Okay.
I'm so see here, you just need to observe something. Hyphen v means volume, okay. Root,
Hmm.
in root directory here, okay. In root directory I'm just creating new container, okay. I'm just making connection in root directory. I'm just creating Vasant as a file name, okay. Hyphen privileges, privileged spelling PRIVILEGD equal to TRUE, true, okay. Ubuntu. So now tell me what is the difference between previous and now? Huh? Rakesh, I'm
Yeah.
asking you. So what is the difference between previous command and this command?
Like here we used,
So tell me. So using by seeing this image.
like here we used the location of the volume.
Yeah. See, here actually we are creating container called my container v3, correct?
Yeah.
And also hyphen v means we are creating a volume, okay?
Hmm.
In root, okay, as Lokesh is, sorry, Vasant is not there in our directory. So that's why we
Okay.
are keeping as Vasant here. We are creating it.
Hmm.
Clear? We don't have
Hmm.
actually Vasant. That's why I'm keeping here Vasant. In root directory, it will create. And privilege is true. And on top of Ubuntu machine, it will create everything. Okay? So let us run. Let us try to run this. Enter. What is this? The response
Error.
statement failed. Create task container failed. Okay. Shim task OC my runtime created failed. Unable to start the container process error during the container init. No such file direct. Okay, okay. It is not taking like this. So I should
Okay.
create a maybe I should create that file. Okay. No problem. Let's do one thing. Mm, okay. Simple. You understood, right? That directory is not there. That's why it is not.
Hmm.
I thought that it will create its even. even while you are creating the container or volume. So I thought this it will create, but it is actually routing. That's it. It is routing.
Okay.
That's it. We can create it. Nothing else. Touch. Um, Vasant. Wait. What we do? LS. Okay. TOUCH. Touch. Vasant. Okay. Now I'll try to run this command again. Docker run hyphen name the daemon conflict. The container name v3 already existed.
It
Okay.
already created.
Yeah. The thing is,
Okay. The
here
volume is
actually,
not attached, but the container got created.
volume is not a test, but container got created. Let us do one thing. Let us change
Change
this
the
name
container
as
v4.
v4
We created 4
right now.
containers.
Yeah. Again, the issue is, oh my goodness, the failed to create the container, failed to create a syntax runtime created. Unable to start the container process while during the container init. One second, Rakesh. So this we should know about this. The error you are seeing due to part of your command. There is no bash Ubuntu image shell is usually. Oh my goodness. See, that is the reason. I understood. See this? So in our command, you observe this command. I did not use any bin bash bin. I did not use
Okay.
bin. Okay.
Okay.
Bin bash. You simply nothing. Oh, see this container is got created. Oh my god.
Hmm.
Earlier v4 also created at the time. So let me create with v5. So now you see this.
Hmm.
So if with bin bash, you see this with bin bash,
Hmm.
containers creating but volumes not acting, volumes not
Okay.
attaching, but container is creating,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So with this error we created four containers, three containers.
Yeah.
Okay, so let
Hmm.
me go. Actually I'm inside the container. Clear?
Yeah.
ls. See Vasant is there. Clear?
Hmm.
So where I have created this Vasant already I created actually inside root.
Root, which is in host.
Yeah, which is there in host,
Yeah.
but we got actually Vasant from host. I can able to see something. So I want to keep something inside Vasant.
Okay.
Okay. CD Vasant. Sorry. LS. Hey my God. You see everything we got.
Hmm. Yeah.
See this? Everything we got actually.
Yes.
So let's go back one step. LS. You see all the files came.
Hmm.
So root which you understood, Rakesh. It is very important. Okay. So
Hmm.
that command you actually rooted with the Vasant. Vasant files are directed to root files are directed to Vasant. All the files you got in Vasant, clear?
Yeah.
So that is the meaning of it.
Okay.
So by practical you understood. C D Vasant. See this ls. So these files actually I did not move. Okay,
Hmm.
this Vasant file I created, but when I use root, okay, like this Vasant. Okay, I have done this slide, which means
Yeah.
you actually directed to root to Vasant. All the files which is existed in the root, that files we directed to Vasant
Hmm.
directory. So then you created Vasant directory. Inside Vasant directory, all these files are there.
Okay.
Understood, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me do one thing. ls. I'll create some other file. Touch um, Mahesh, Suresh, Rakesh, Lokesh, Satish. Okay, these files. ls. You see these files, right?
Hmm.
Lokesh, Mahesh, Rakesh, Satish, Suresh, all. Okay. I'm going to
Yeah.
exit. LS. So did I create earlier? This Mahesh, Rakesh,
Mm.
Mahesh, Rakesh, Satish, Suresh. Maybe Rakesh
Mm.
was there earlier, but
Yeah.
Suresh, Satish, Mahesh, right?
Mm.
So these files are actually it is integrated, which means we are actually sharing in between host to container,
Container.
right? Which means EC2 host to container. This is what happened.
Okay.
Okay. So let me do one thing. Um, Docker container ls hyphen a. Okay. So what is our container? This one, right?
Container with, yeah.
This one. Okay. Docker inspect. So you can, if you want to see all the details about this container, all the details. So you might not know that is it container or what. If you want to see that container details, you just do Docker inspect. Is it volume or not? You'll see this.
Okay.
See this name, volume. Okay, all sizes. What is it? Here only two. This is okay. Host name. Yeah. Image one to volume. Uh, one second. Yeah, you see this rooted. It is binded with the volume wasn't clear.
Okay.
So you can see your you can if you inspect everything you can see. Okay. So here actually volume is Vasant clear that is rooted. Bind means connection. Okay, you are binding with the Vasant as a volume. Here Vasant is volume.
Okay.
Inside that Vasant you actually directed from root. So all the root files you can see in this Vasant volume. That's how we
Mm.
shared, right? Host to
Yeah.
container, right? Okay. Um, so that's it for today, Rakesh. It was
Yeah.
time. Okay.
Yeah.
So next class, don't skip. Next
Yeah.
class,
Yeah.
you have to create volumes. Sorry, uh,
Images using three steps. Three
images
steps.
using Docker Hub. Okay.
Mm.
Container
Okay.
using container. You need to create image. On top of that image, you need to create container. So and
Okay.
first image to image, you need to create, you need to pull the image from the Docker Hub. On top of this, you need to create a container. This is one step. And already existed container, using existed container, you need to create one image. On top of that, you need to create container. Container using container, you need to create one thing, and using Docker file,
Okay.
you need to create this. You have to do this. Along with it, you have to work on volumes. Is it possible in one class? So if it
Yeah.
not possible, we can do it later. Other class, this volume separate. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So that's it. So my intention is not to go very rush. No rush. Okay,
No, but
Rakesh. No.
if I know how to create, then we can create in 1 hour, I guess. Remaining hour we can take class.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling.
Uh,
So I'm my intention is to you is to be very much perfect. Very much perfect. No rush. If you go rush, you will forget. Okay.
okay.
So but we are going slow, but in that slow also you are keeping gaps.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to go, I don't want you take too much rush, but we are already going slow, but still you are keeping gaps, but try to manage to attend at least possible days.
Okay.
Okay, all right, Rakesh, thanks for joining. Okay, I can share, I think I did not share the videos. Maybe could you please let me know which video you did not receive, so then I can share. Please text me.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's all. Thank you for joining. So we'll see you
Yeah.
in next class. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.